As emergency call volumes rise in Dane County, Stoughton Fire and EMS are looking to make some changes with the staffing. Thanks for joining us here at 10. I'm Maria Lizignoli.
And I'm Mark McPherson. The departments are hoping to add positions who would be trained to respond to both emergency medical and fire calls. NBC 15's Cameron Kelly joins us in studio. And Cameron, right now their staff is mainly volunteers.
With the exception of 2 full-time EMS and 3 firefighters. In the next city budget meeting, the departments plan to propose 2 full-time cross-trained staff members who would act as flex staff when the department is short-handed.
Over the last several months, we've been doing some investigating on how we might be able to create efficiencies in our EMS and fire departments.
Within the Stoughton firefighter and EMS budget, Mayor Tim Swadley says the city wants to create 2 new full-time cross-trained personnel positions. They would respond to both emergency medical and fire alarms.
We've been blessed for many years with a number of volunteers in our fire and EMS departments, and having some more full-time staff that are available to do both can help supplement the hours where the volunteers aren't available.
30 minutes south, Janesville's fire chief says many cities in Rock County have combined departments.
I know it goes all the way back to the 70s. We started a paramedic service in 1975, and we were EMT certified prior to that, and they were doing that. I started back in 1994, and we were doing the dual credentials.
Cross-trained personnel can give medical aid to a person after rescuing them from a fire.
It just provides the opportunity to get more individuals on scene, make it safer for the individuals that are operating on scene, and just provides a better service to the community that we're serving.
Although these plans are not finalized in Stoughton, the mayor says it would be an adjustment for the departments and the community.
Obviously, change is difficult. There's been a long-standing tradition in both departments to really rely more heavily on volunteers. We don't really see that changing. We believe that we'll be able to phase this in and really fill key positions through natural attrition.
And on average, the positions in Stoughton would make $50,000 to $60,000 a year. Stoughton Fire and EMS will ultimately have to get the budget approved to fill these 2 positions. The next budget hearing is November 7th. Live in the studio, Cameron Kelly, NBC 15 News.